India, which was once referred to as the Golden Bird, because of being the most technologically advanced and the richest empire in the world, became one of the most technologically backward, and poverty-stricken. But how did it happen? What led to India's such dramatic downfall? Let's find out. It all started when the Portuguese Trading Company, followed by the Dutch East India Company, the British East India Company, and other trading companies from France, Denmark, and Norway, all established strong trading posts in India, in the early 17th century. During this time, the falling Mughal Empire and the rising Maratha Empire, were engaged in fierce battles for dominance. Many relatively weak and unstable Indian states that emerged, were increasingly open to manipulation by the Europeans. This was followed by a rapid expansion of British power, through the greater part of the Indian subcontinent, in the early 19th century. With the Government of India Act of 1858, the British government assumed the task of directly administering India. And with that, began the oppression of native Indians and the exploitation of India. Indians were restricted from getting promoted to high ranks, and were barred from starting any new business. This led to a sharp fall in the standard of living, and a severe absence of technical know-how. Even quality education was restricted to the family members of the British officers. Various trade policies enforced in India by the East India Company, and then later by the British government, resulted in huge drain of wealth and resources from India, so as to facilitate the growing British industry after the Industrial Revolution, and later to rebuild Britain in the aftermath of World War I, and to strengthen itself for World War II. Not only that, out of a total of 48 famines in India's more than 2,000-year-old history, 31 famines occurred during the short span of 120 years of British rule in India. But then, in the year 1947, India finally gained independence from the British rule. India was free to build the nation of its dreams. But there was a problem: Indians were too poor to start new companies, and lacked higher education and technical know-how. India had two options: either to reinvent the wheel, and start everything from scratch, which would take decades to reach the level the world was already at that time, or to seek help from other democratic and technologically advanced countries, like the United States of America, and, well, Britain. India went ahead with the second option, and sought technological help from the United States of America and Britain. Forgiving Britain, and forgetting what it had done in the past. But surprisingly, both America and Britain, dubbed India as a third world country, and offered only monetary aid to India. But actual help came from the Soviet Union and Japan. Even though the Soviet Union was falling, it did whatever it could, to help India in every possible domain. America always forced India, to support it during the Cold War. It said it will only help India, if India became an ally of the United States. But India could not openly support America, as that would mean opposing the Soviet Union, the only one actually helping India build itself. And thus India remained non-aligned, throughout the Cold War era. During the Indo-Sino War, India sought help from America, but real help again came from the Soviet Union, despite China being Soviet Union's strong ally. On the other hand, during the Indo-Pakistan War of Kargil, India again asked America for help, but it instead, openly supported its ally Pakistan. India suffered huge losses, when America denied India access to GPS, during the war. Not only that, India being majorly an agricultural economy, thanks to the British, proposed the United States to buy the latest supercomputer, in order to accurately forecast weather, but America on the other hand, offered one of its outdated supercomputer, at price higher than what it would take it to develop from scratch. A trade policy, which it continues with India till date. Not willing to waste time in developing it from scratch, India still went ahead with the deal. Surprised by this, America outright rejected the offer. This forced India to develop its own supercomputer. And that's not all. When America tries to sell its outdated technologies to India, and India finds an up-to-date alternative, from somewhere else, say Russia, America applies embargo on India. This is exactly what happened, when India tried to buy Russian cryogenic engines, but ended up developing its own, all thanks to American embargo. Or when India tries to buy the latest military tech, at much cheaper prices, America threatens India with sanctions. That is, when India made a deal to buy Russian S-400 missile system. But, sometimes India do have to buy American outdated tech, at much higher prices, for security purposes. Like, the deal to purchase the Boeing AH-64 Apache helicopters, which were first inducted in 1986. And, as per modern Britain is concerned, we request it to wake up and open its eyes. It is 21st century. India does not require £1 billion of financial aid every year. You need to seriously inquire where all that money goes, once it lands in the hands of NGOs every year. The financial aid meant for poor people is not helping, as they are still poor. It would be a lot better, if you help India educate those underprivileged section of the society. As the saying goes, give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Do check out our other videos as well, links to a few are on your screen. Please subscribe and do not forget to hit the like button. See you in another video. Thanks for watching.